So, Pavelover, how a sequel can ruin a legacy. I'm only going to be reacting to his Boruto part because, I mean, that's all I know from most of the series. I would have loved to talk about Modulo, but I gotta finish JJK before that.
There are also times when a sequel can be so bad that people don't even want to accept it's a sequel. Naruto is one of the most beloved and influential anime series ever. Over hundreds of episodes and manga chapters, we watch Naruto's journey from this lonely dude that everyone treats like absolute garbage to a hero that everyone respects. Just so you know, this series wasn't just popular, it became one of the big three alongside Bleach and One Piece. Those are series that literally shaped an entire generation of anime and manga fans. When it ended, everyone knew that there was going to be a sequel, and everyone knew it was going to be a big deal. When it came out, the focus shifted to Naruto's son, Boruto Uzumaki. The world had changed. The ninja village was now this modern city, totally at peace and packed with advanced technology. I mean, there were even aliens. Where Naruto was all about an underdog fighting for respect and overcoming crazy obstacles, Boruto was about living in the shadow of a legend. His problem isn't trying to get noticed, it's trying to escape his dad's legacy.
That is probably going to be the first thing I take away from his explanation of what Boruto is about. I even wanted to say something about how like people don't want Boruto to exist or something, but that's left up to you. People that don't want it to exist, they can live in the infinite Tsukuyomi that they've created for themselves. Okay, that's just coping. Anyways, he literally said that Boruto is about living in your father's shadow or the Hokage shadow, or you know what I'm saying? In this context, Boruto is living in Naruto's shadow, and it wasn't about getting attention, pretty much. That's where I say that's kind of wrong. I don't think Boruto, to be honest, it's not even I don't think, I know Boruto isn't about living in Naruto's shadow. It was almost never really about that. You could say in the beginning, yes, because the beginning, at least in the manga, is more about Boruto and Naruto's relation with each other. It's why Boruto doesn't like his father and why Naruto is neglecting his family in a certain sense. They both have their own challenges they have to deal with in order to fix stuff up. Living in Naruto's shadow wasn't even really the case, and he also said that it wasn't about getting attention. That's almost exactly what the beginning of Boruto was about. Boruto was doing stupid shit because he was desperate for attention from his father. And that only lasted like 10 chapters at the very least, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the best, or not really the best though, but like one of the okay representation of living in the Hokage shadow because you are related to the Hokage is Konohamaru's situation. Take note that Boruto and Konohamaru do stupid shit. They do. But their intent on those stupid shit is extremely different. I feel like what you just explained is more relatable or more attached to Konohamaru's situation than it is to Boruto's situation. Boruto does not care. He doesn't care about the village's perception of him, to be honest. He only does the crazy shit most of the time to catch his attention, to catch Naruto's attention, or so that Naruto can give him praise. You know what I'm saying? That's why he cheated in the Chunin exams. Konohamaru is like genuinely trying to fight the third Hokage for the title of Hokage. The intent of Boruto and the intent of Konohamaru are very different in their actions. Boruto does stupid shit for the attention of his father and to like make him realize that he's neglecting his family by becoming the Hokage. But then Konohamaru is literally doing it to actually remove himself from the Hokage's Sarutobi name, to be known as Konohamaru Sarutobi, not the Hokage's grandson. You know what I'm saying? I don't actually think that Boruto was trying to escape his legacy. Yes, you can very much tell that he didn't like when people just referred to him as the Hokage's son most of the time, but he wasn't really trying, like his father is Hokage, yeah. The only problem he has with that is that he's just neglecting his family.
When it first came out, people were not very happy. And as the series kept going on, the criticism just kept piling up. The show was basically sidelining all the original characters that people cared about. The villains were kinda lame, and the story felt uninteresting. But the worst part is that both the manga and the anime had their own unique problems. The manga had a new artist, which meant that it looked completely different from the original Naruto, and that made a lot of fans pretty mad. The anime, on the other hand, had terrible pacing and
I just want to say this real quick about Ikemoto's art style. For sure, in the beginning, It was kind of crackly. I will say I will take a few things from the art style in the beginning, like the first 2, 3, 4, maybe to like 10 chapters. I love that Sasuke had curly hair. I like that Naruto kind of looked a lot more mature. Like you can really tell that this is somebody's father and he's responsible for an entire village and pretty much the main nation's military force. Like Naruto looked responsible, not a kid anymore. I guess you could say that I love the fact that Ikemoto used a lot more detail than he used to than he does now. That's kind of my takeaway from it. And for sure, yeah, it would be kind of discombobulating and disorienting that the art style was different, but you grow into it if you just continue the series. But most people didn't. That's why the criticisms piled up, because it was one problem after the other and people stuck with those problems. They didn't like Boruto in the beginning. That was one reason to stop. And then they just got another reason, which is, okay, the art style ain't even good, so it doesn't even feel like Naruto. So I guess I could see why people just stopped in the beginning. It was way too many different things going on at the same time that were like just somewhat astray from Naruto, but that was kind of the point.
The anime, on the other hand, had terrible pacing and was stuffed with filler and anime-only episodes. And they were not good. For a long time, Naruto fans felt like Boruto completely failed to live up to what came before it. That was until part 2 of Boruto came out. 2 Blue.
Alright, another side quest opinion. How do you guys feel about Boruto filler? It's trash. I know that's what you want to jump to. Now, to be honest, I will say this one-liner, well, more like 5 sentences. Naruto is a lot more memorable because it has filler. Boruto, to me, is also way more memorable because it has filler. Yes, filler is a problem. It has completely bloated Naruto, and it has also completely bloated Boruto. Genuinely, it felt like we're in an infinite filler Yomi. That was a bad thing for Boruto. That was a bad thing for Naruto, hands down. And even in Boruto's case, like damn near 80% of it is filler or anime canon, which is still filler to be honest. Only like 20% of the 293, damn near 300 episodes are manga canon. That's bad. That's a bad representation of, that's no good. But the thing is, I will always remember Boruto and Naruto because it has filler. A lot of things that you see on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all that shit, on even some long-form Boruto and Naruto videos are filler episodes, and they make it a lot more memorable, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I can forget JJK in the future. I feel like I will forget Chainsaw Man in the future. There are plenty series I will forget because it just doesn't, it's completely story based. Everything is moving very quickly. Sometimes filler takes a break from that, and there are things that you won't expect from a character happening. Like Sasuke, sometimes he feels very out of character in fillers, and sometimes I kind of like that, but I do get it why filler is annoying. It's filler. It's not supposed to really be there.
That was until part 2 of Boruto came out. 2 Blue Vortex. This continuation finally made the series feel like it was actually about Boruto. The series fully embraced him as this overpowered character, and he transformed from an obnoxious kid to someone cool. The enemies got better. There was a genuine sense of mystery, and the author's art style, which got absolutely roasted early on, had improved so much while still keeping his own vibe. All the feelings around this series have flipped so much that you rarely hear anyone complaining about the manga anymore.
And to be honest, people are still complaining about the manga. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like even if Boruto like literally gets to a point where it's probably the most popular series in the world, people will literally still diss it because it's cool to hate on Boruto. That's just kind of how I see it, man. I don't even have hope that it will not get no hate at all. People have completely shut their minds into trying to even care about the series. It's their fault and it's not their fault. If you are going to be openly ignorant, of course you're not going to like something. Like, of course you're going to continue hating it blindly. Another thing I want to say is that Ikemoto's art style to me was shaky at first, but at a certain point it was great. You know what I'm saying? I can't say I agree with the fact that it was kind of trash in the beginning. Yes, it was bad at like the first maybe like 10 chapters. But like after that, it got nice. I'm not gonna lie. When you get to the Owl arc, that's when for me, that's the best version of Ikemoto's art style. I believe volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, those are my favorite Ikemoto art style. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with the fact that he kind of did keep that aspect of the old vibe in the new context, but I don't think that the new one is actually better than those older parts of the series. But it's not like his art is bad, it's amazing. Have you read Boruto chapter 31? He's actually improving on the perspective shots. Is insane.
And people are actually starting to acknowledge that Boruto is finally living up to the hype. This incredible comeback, combined with the fact that they finally put the anime on pause because they realized literally no one wanted to watch this garbage, was the perfect storm that brought Boruto to where it is.
I will say though that if you're gonna watch Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, expect Naruto, but definitely not at the scale that you would see him in his own series. You know what I'm saying? Naruto Next Generations is about Boruto and the next generations. Coming into Boruto expecting 200 plus episodes where it's literally about Naruto and his freaking washed up Konoha 12 pals. That's not gonna happen. Yes, we do have insane Naruto moments in Boruto, but the main focus is about building Boruto in the shinobi world that is modernized to this day. I feel like a lot of themes are a lot more relatable now. Boruto feels like a lot more personal story than it is trying to build up the entire world around it. That's why I feel like when people say side characters aren't involved, that makes sense. They don't need to be there in the beginning of the series. They are a lot more in Boruto to Blue Vortex, but in Naruto Next Generations, the thing got built up nicely. And yes, I do agree that Boruto started off very shaky. Part of me sometimes even feel like it should have started off with 2 Blue Vortex, but it wouldn't make sense. Plenty things would have gone unexplained. It just would be a lot shakier than even how it is now. Boruto is an amazing series. I would love to see where it goes in the future. And I won't blame anybody that hated it. I just feel like if you're hating it now, that's just blissful ignorance. But yeah, shout out to Pavelover for this video. Will I say that he had a lot of good points in here? Kinda. Will I say that a bunch of bad points were in here? For sure, especially his perception of Boruto. Like he literally says about living in the shadows. That's kind of what like brought me up to even record this video in the first place, but that's not what Boruto's about. Boruto is about living in the shadows itself, not about its successor. Boruto is mostly about love and sacrifice now. It's about preserving what the old generation fought to attain. And to be honest, I'm here for it.